Hello, welcome to Haloodies. Haloodies is our series all about food, and we're here today joined with some fabulous guests and the one and only Abdul Yassin from the Cinnamon Kitchen.
On today's Haloodies, we're joined by Baroness Meryl Hussein, who's a member of the House of Lords. With a Turkish background, she's going to bring an influence of Turkish food to our kitchen. And Rahila Hussein, who's the first ever winner of the TV show Food, Glorious Food. Her fabulous award-winning dish, fragrant white chicken korma, is now on sale in one of the major high street supermarkets.
Okay, so Abdul, what are we going to be cooking today?
I know Meryl is, she's got a liking to a seafood. So what I've tried to bring three definitely common and popular seafoods together into a broth. The dish name is coconut moili. Moili represents the south of India, obviously, which is dominated by the coastal influence. And I'm basically going to sear some seafood, which is the tilapia and the king prawn and the squid, and finish it with coconut milk, gently simmering it into a broth, which can be easily edible by either a bread or rice to complement your dish with that. So
that sounds pretty good to me.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of my favorites as well. I mean, when I cook seafood, a coconut-dominated moili or a coconut-dominated curry, it definitely makes my day.
And we've got some fabulous fish there as well. So again, you being a person that likes lots of fish, we've got some nice ingredients here too. So, right, Abdul, you're going to get cracking with the cooking there. Meryl, if you'd like to come and join me, we'll have a little chat about yourself, what you've been up to, about food, because, I mean, we know that you like your food. You've been telling me just a few minutes ago. So would you like us to chop your onions for you, Chef?
Yes, of course, definitely.
We'll get them cracked on there with you.
Absolutely.
I know you're keen on chopping onions, aren't you?
I'll pass on that.
I'll do the onions. You
Shall I
can
do
do
those?
the chilli and
Is there a chopping board?
Yeah, we'll get you a chopping board. We've got a chopping board
one
there.
here, isn't
There we go. Bring the chopping board up there. Some knives in the block here for you. So we're very organised for you today, aren't we? Just watch your fingers. So we want
I'll do this.
the ginger sliced into julienne, don't we?
Yes, absolutely. The ginger sliced in julienne.
Nice thin strips is what we're looking for.
The green chilies could be split into half.
Chilies just straight into half, okay.
Yep.
And then we've got all these onions sorted too for you, Chef.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so into the pan we've got our onions, our chilies. Were they onion seeds, Chef?
Yeah.
Onion seeds.
I just temper it with the limited ingredient like mustard seeds, curry leaves, and whole red chili. These are dried chilies.
Dried chilies.
Which does not impart too much of a heat, but imparts a lot of smokiness to the dish.
Smokiness.
Yeah. I mean, it's an option if you want to, if you don't want to. But generally, my way of cooking, when I try to cook this, I obviously, whenever it comes to South Indian cooking, I like to throw it. Even if it is not in the recipe, I would like to just throw some hot chilies into it. Yeah.
Right, how's the ginger doing? Do you want this a bit finer, Chef, or is
Yes,
this okay?
a little more
finer.
finer strips.
You can be stage one, I'll be stage two. It's all about presentation, isn't it? We eat our eyes. So it's got to look really vibrant, colourful,
I've done most of it.
And all kind of flowing together, really. Again, if it's all cooked the same size, it's all going to cook nice and evenly, isn't it, as well, Chef?
Absolutely.
Ginger, I love ginger in food.
Really good.
Really lovely.
Now, this is the stage which is quite interesting. When you have the onions, which is a little bit translucent, you don't want the onions to get too much colour, so your sauce turns
Right,
murky.
yeah.
So that's colour.
Yeah, you introduce some ginger into it. Now you've got the onions, the ginger, and the curry leaf sauteing together. At this stage, you'll add a little bit of stock, fish stock, if you are doing some fish stock, or water is just absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Now the
So
process
fish stock
of this
or water?
is, now this is the process I would want to do, so that I want my onions to be completely deteriorated, along with the simmering of the sauce.
But they melt into the broth.
Yeah, it'll basically lose its texture and die out completely. But you see that the ginger and the chilies have already been incorporated, the flavors in the broth. Now this, I would just leave it on the side.
Really good.
So at this stage, the pan that I have used for the sauteing of the onions, the same pans can be utilized. And then I'll just throw in some seafood into it.
Does it go in any kind of order if it's shellfish or round or flatfish?
Basically, I mean, I'm not very worried about the shellfish and the thing. As long as I just have a searing mark and then I'll move it out of the fire.
Right, yeah. Again, very important when you get your fresh fish that it really is very fresh, isn't it? You can't use fish which is a day too old. It's got to be really fresh.
I mean, especially in the UK when we are blessed with a delivery for 3 times a day at least. Yeah. Ingredients in the UK, especially seafood, you can easily get and very, very good sustainability.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Which at the Cinnamon Kitchen, what would you say are the most popular recipes? Is there any kind of like #1 recipes which is always an outseller every day, every evening?
See, there are favorites which my guests have identified. But if I'm doing something if I won't be doing justice if I'm saying this is more popular than the other one. At the end of the day, it is all very dear to us, and it is all has got a lot of effort of the team.
And just think about Turkish food. I mean, what about things like desserts? Are they big on desserts as well?
Yes, very big.
Very big, very sweet, I think, aren't they, from what I
quite
can recall?
sweet, but there's lots of, the things I like are the sort of, like the rice puddingy ones.
Right, yeah,
And
yeah.
the flavour with cinnamon and saffron. Very lovely
Really
dishes.
full of flavour in there, yeah.
But the others that everyone knows is like obviously baklava, which is
That's
the phyllo
right. I mean, that's kind of
pastry
probably
with nuts
most
and
well
honey.
known, isn't it?
Very rich.
Very sweet. You can't eat much of that, can you?
You
It's
can't
very,
eat, you just
very
need a little
sweet.
bit, and that's
But
the whole point of it.
That's all we need, isn't
That's
it?
all you need, well, if you need that.
Right, so what have we got going in there, Chef? A little bit of turmeric.
Yeah, you have the broth simmering. It's basically a sort of a decoction, I would say. The reason why I say decoction is because we are allowing the ingredient to work with full harmony, rather than overcooking it or I'm trying to take it out beforehand.
So the seafood's nicely cooking down there.
Yeah,
The onions are again not too much colour, as you said, so they're going to stay
Absolutely,
nice and opaque.
yeah.
A little splash of is that the mustard oil or just
No,
the oil?
it's normal plain refined oil. You can use olive oil, you can use vegetable oil, anything you want.
See, in Turkish cooking, it's olive oil.
All the way through. Yeah,
So
yeah.
it would be olive oil.
So you can see the aromas of the ginger and the curry leaves coming from this now.
Wow, look at that. Lovely. Again, I have a little phrase that colour is flavour.
Yeah.
It's got nice colours,
Lovely
it's got lovely flavour,
lovely
isn't it, as
colour.
well?
And this is the coconut
And
milk.
this is coconut
This is
milk.
coconut milk.
Yeah.
When we add it, we keep on stirring it a little bit.
Could you add anything as an alternative to the coconut milk, or would it have to be?
It definitely has to be a coconut milk because obviously it's very coastal originated sort of a dish. If you want, you can do a cream one, but obviously you will not get the sweetness.
Yeah.
You can use the normal cream into
The
this
yogurt
as well.
wouldn't work at all, or-
Some people who are quite concerned about yogurt, about the cream and the dairy part of it, they definitely try to use soya milk.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, does it?
It doesn't work, no.
No.
I mean, some things, it will lose its authenticity. If you're
Yes.
trying to cook something coastal, it has to
You
be...
need the real ingredients.
Absolutely. At this stage, I will allow the sauce to be simmering on the side, and I'll go back to my seafood to warm it up a little bit.
Are you a bit like me at home? You've got a kitchen cupboard full of spices and ingredients.
lots
It's
of
just open
packets.
it up and it's all there. Now, what shall I use?
It's not as organised as
It's not
this.
as organised
No.
as this, but this is a pro at work,
It's
isn't
very
it?
good, yeah. I'm very impressed.
We're just a
It
few
should
minutes
be
away
ready
from
in 2
service.
minutes, yeah?
Oh, wow. This is
Now,
the
look at
bit.
the colour of that.
This is where it all comes together.
It is, this is a master at work now. This is bringing it all together.
Wonderful.
Again, seasoning comes towards the end, I guess, Chef.
Yes, seasoning is just to reassure us whether you want a little more of heat or you want more of the sugary part of it. But this one recipe does not need too many ingredients. Like I know it is very easy to get carried away with when you have a wide range of spices in front of you. But it is. I mean, that's what I've learned from my mom as well.
Yeah.
It is very difficult to go back to the home cooking.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to eat food what my wife and my mom would cook. And it's simply because my array of the spices are so much, I cannot stop myself from
You keep on going.
keeping on putting
never
and
do
until
it.
it's yeah.
You never do it.
Yeah, I mean, I love doing it because obviously
Yeah.
it keeps me on my toes, saying that I'm not satisfied.
But you haven't used, I mean, you just used turmeric here.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
This is simple ingredients,
Simple.
fresh vegetables,
Yes.
coconut,
That's what
and
I
your
like.
seafood, which already has got a big sort of a say.
I don't like dishes with too many ingredients.
Not at all, no. So, Chef, you're about ready for plating up shortly
Yeah.
then. So, just very briefly, have you heard about there's a festival taking place in London called the Halal Food Festival?
Yes, I've heard,
It's
yes.
an absolutely magnificent event which has been
Yes.
staged in September 28th,
Yes,
29th,
I've heard.
30th in the London Excel Centre.
Yes.
And it's obviously halal foods, but a lot of people don't kind of realise that it's like the Turkish community that's going to be there. There'll be Mauritians, there'll be all sorts of communities
Yeah.
from all over the world bringing their
I
foods.
think when people think of halal, they just think of one type of food.
Exactly, yeah.
They don't think about sort of North African, Moroccan,
Not at all.
Middle Eastern, Turkish. It encompasses
There's a world
really wide,
community.
huge.
It really is, yeah.
I think there's a wide. It's more broader when you talk about halal food.
Yes.
I mean, it's about educating people the scientific reasons of why halal would be in existence. Everything which is obviously religiously which is followed as a halal also can be explained scientifically. It's about hygiene. It's about the way it's been reared. It's about how your approach is towards an ingredient. Very, very important.
Okay, so we've got a real nice thick sauce
Looks
materialised,
lovely,
haven't we, there now
really.
with
Looks
the
wonderful.
coconut in there. And would you serve this with rice or
Yeah.
potato dish?
Yeah,
Or...
it's with rice.
As a main course, it definitely needs rice to go with that.
Yeah.
As a broth, it only needs some form of bread or starch, like a loaf or something, to be carried with that.
So did you put fish in first, and then you
Yeah.
did
Yeah, it's just to give the base
the
because the prawns they
squid,
stand. Yeah,
and then you put the prawns in last.
yeah.
That's it, yeah.
wonderful.
Fabulous, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks very nice. That's
Again,
nice.
it's all in that last few minutes of
Yeah.
presentation, the way it all
And
comes
it just
together.
took sort of 10 minutes.
Yeah, just rather casually chatting.
Casually
He's
chatting.
created a masterpiece. How does he do it? I
Abdul
don't
was
know.
slaving away while we were doing this, having
Brilliant.
a chat.
And then just a little bit more of the squid going on there too.
Yeah, very nice.
A little sauce. Absolutely magnificent. It really is.
So yeah, you could garnish it with, if you want to garnish, you can garnish with some fresh herbs, or
Yeah.
because it has got curry leaves,
Oh, really?
so
Yes.
it's something that could carry the body of the dish. And that's your
So this is,
Moily.
what was the name of
Fantastic.
this?
the seafood moily.
Seafood
Moily,
moily,
right.
which is a seafood broth.
Yes, it is.
Seafood
It is.
broth.
You could also destructure it by saying shrimps, prawn, and fish in a coconut and ginger broth.
Yeah, lovely. And you serve that here at the Cinnamon Kitchen?
I could make it when you come to dine with me.
Well, there's your invitation.
Definitely the base is there somewhere.
I
in
will be
some
asking
form.
for this.
Flavors will definitely be available anytime.
Oh,
But
wonderful.
a lot of recipes are about being inspired, aren't they, really? 'Cause sometimes you can create a recipe without even
Yes.
realising it,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it's the best way, isn't it, I think, sometimes.
It's the ethos from where the company has come. It's evolved and it's innovated, it's created things. It's about traditional recipes being reconstructed. And
Yes.
again, we have our own style to it and reconstructed things, having modern techniques involved, but the flavors are the same. So this is something which is maintaining the textures, but also keeping the traditional values in
Yes,
the same place.
yes.
OK, so we're seeing the fabulous seafood broth being prepared by Chef Abdul here. We're now going to have a little taste when we get Meryl's final judgment on the dish. How does that sound?
Absolutely.
OK, so we're going for the taste verdict now. So, Meryl, what's the verdict on our lovely seafood broth that Abdul's created for you today here at the Cinnamon Kitchen?
Absolutely delicious. That was
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Really good.
Delicious. Would you go as far as saying speechless?
I'm never speechless.
Never speechless. You must try harder, Chef.
I know. We'll have to try hard to please you.
Well,
Thank
as
you
we
very
say in
much.
Turkish, elin hesabı, which means health to your hands.
Thank you very much.
Health to your hands.
Much appreciated.
Well done,
Thank
Chef.
you very much.
Well
Thank you
done.
very much. It's really delicious.
Recipe, what we're going to be cooking now?
We're going to be cooking pomfret. As in the UK, halibut or monkfish is regarded as one of the prime of the fishes.
Most expensive as well.
Most expensive as well, absolutely. Places like India and the adjoining, like Pakistan and Asian countries, they regard pomfret as one of the prime fishes, which definitely builds up an ambience around the table. It definitely builds up like a celebratory sort of an ambience around the
It's
table.
like the fish to be having.
Absolutely, absolutely, yeah. The treatment that I'm going to do today to the fish would be a Bengali spiced grilled pomfret, and it's going to be followed with a sauce, which is going to be complemented with a little bit of coconut milk towards the end, and we'll have some sauteed spinach as a base to be serving and presenting the dish with.
Sounds like a busy recipe. We're ready to get started. Talking of getting started, someone who I know who likes Bengali spices is Rahila Hussain. Are you a keen cook in the kitchen?
Oh, definitely.
Right, well, we better get started. Come and join us in the kitchen. Right, so hands washed, there we go, water on. And while you're getting your hands washed, we'll make a start with our fish, shall we, Abdul? What do we need to do first?
The recipe is in 3 stages. First stage is grilling the fish, which is to be marinated first and kept
Right.
on the side in the
Top places
skewer.
there.
In the skewer and on the grill. So what I need you to do is to grill the fish first, as in first you marinate the fish with by cutting the fish into 3 pieces.
Right, so straight into 3 like
Into
this.
3 pieces like
Do
that.
you like cooking with a lot of fish?
I do love cooking with fish,
You do?
actually. It's so healthy.
It is indeed,
And
and
it's a great alternative to meat as well.
full of
Because
protein,
sometimes you
full of
want a
goodness,
difference.
all the
Yeah.
natural oils in there. Is this a
Absolutely.
fish you've cooked with before, or is something new for you?
It's not, because when I was in Karachi, which was not so long ago actually, one of the chefs gave me a brilliant recipe, banana leaf fish, and he was saying, oh, marinate pomfret in it. And I was saying, no, I'm not sure I can actually get that in England.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it's great to see it.
You can get it here at the Cinnamon Kitchen, can't you, Abdul?
On and off definitely in the menu, especially
Right.
when people are looking for rustic grills. I definitely do it out of the menu for those who crave to come and eat some pomfret in my restaurant. Although not very, very popular with regards to having in a fine dine sort of a place, but pomfret, as it adapts to the spices so well,
Yeah.
on a Thursday night, have a grilled pomfret in the menu,
Right, yes.
which people love to have it, generally.
That's good. So this is all the spices going into here. Now the fish is prepared ready. I'm guessing we're going to be kind of marinating this all together with the fish and the spices and the chili and the
What are you
turmeric.
adding?
Yeah,
What
what
are you
I'm doing
adding
here
to
is
that?
like we've got some ginger garlic paste, which obviously helps to move the off flavors of any meat or the fish items.
Yeah.
We have ginger garlic paste in here. We've got salt, sugar. We had a little bit of mustard, which I said is a Bengali mustard, which has been treated similar to that of a Dijon mustard.
Right, yes.
It's added with, it's soaked overnight and it's ground.
I have a
to
smell of that. It
paste.
smells really good.
Yeah,
I know,
it's-
it
really
looks
good.
great. Look at the colour.
Oh, look at that.
I love it.
Really nice. Isn't it? And vibrant
Wow.
colour. I mean, colour is flavour in my book, and I think that's ticking all the boxes there.
Do you pop it into water or oil?
Yeah, I mean, you soak it with a little bit of turmeric, yogurt, and some water overnight, and a little bit of oil as well. And then you grind it into a paste in the next morning, so it gives you those.
Wow.
Yeah, it
I'm going
gives
to
you-
try
That
that.
sounds good, doesn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
You know what? Talking about trying it, I think you're going to be getting your hands in there in a minute.
Absolutely.
I've got a feeling.
Oh,
So
nice.
you will need to marinate the fish for me first.
Right, so
Shall I give it a
just
quick
straight
mix
in there.
for you?
Yeah, give it a bit of a mix around there first of all.
Yeah.
Is that was that mustard oil, that one?
Yeah, a combination of mustard and any vegetable or refined oil
Right,
would
yeah.
be good.
Oh, this is the mustard
You
oil,
want me
isn't
to
it?
get my hands in, yeah?
Yeah, you're going to get in
Absolutely,
there
yes.
Right.
and get cooking. That's what it's all about today on the show. So, do you like cooking at home? I'm guessing you do.
Oh, I love it. I love cooking for people who come round. And sometimes I cook and I'll take it round to my friends
Oh,
and
you
say,
do?
oh, try this.
You just turn up with all the dinner for them.
Oh, actually, I do.
What would you say is your favourite recipe to cook?
You know, it'll depend on the season and it'll depend on the person as well.
Ah, right. So it's very dependent.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the people that you really love, you want to do the dishes that you really love. So I love to cook the fragrant white chicken korma that was the winning dish.
Ah, right. Yes, yeah.
But I also like to do, I have this one which is called Jilman biryani, and it's, oh my God, it's so fantastic because it's like a royal biryani. And
Oh,
it's,
now we're talking, aren't we, chef?
yeah, definitely.
Ah, that's good.
You find it in Lahore, and it's so many layers and so many flavours. So between the rice and the meat, you put things like ground pistachios, mint, coriander, and you'll put fried onions in. You'll put chilies in.
There's a lot going on in there.
I know,
There really is.
saffron.
Yeah, yeah.
Saffron water, and then right at the very end, you cover it with pastry, pop it into the oven, and then when you take it out after about half an hour, and you actually dive into it, the fragrance it releases.
Tell you what,
is
the next time you're
unbelievable.
cooking that, give me a call because we're not that far away up in Yorkshire together, are we? There,
yeah,
I might just have to,
definitely.
might
We'll
just
have
pop
to have a
along the
little
M62
practice.
there, and we'll have a little taste of that maybe.
Oh yeah, anytime,
yes, it's-
anytime.
We've got like a Yorkshire contingency down in London today, haven't we?
Yeah,
So it's
e
quite
by
nice.
gum,
It's,
as Yorkshire people have to
safety in
stick
numbers
together.
today. We're also going to be down at the Halal Food Festival, aren't we, in September? Tell us a little bit about what you're going to be doing there.
I'm going to be cooking and demonstrating my winning dish, so the fragrant white chicken korma, and I'm really looking forward to that. Because I know a lot of people actually want to see me cooking it from scratch.
That's right.
So I really, enjoy doing that. But the other thing that I'm really looking forward to is looking after the little haloodies.
All right, yes.
Yeah,
These
and
are
inspiring the
tiny
kind of
tots,
next
it's called,
generation.
yeah, in there.
That's a little bit of ginger and some coriander in it. Now, ideally, when you marinate a fish like that, you could possibly keep it overnight, or you could just leave it for 30 odd minutes.
Now, you've got to be nice to this guy because he's got a great big long stick, look, a big skewer.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I love to cook with skewers, so
That's going to go onto a really hot flame by the looks
Absolutely,
of
yeah.
things.
So-
And it's a really healthy way to
Onto
cook
there.
as well.
absolutely, yeah. When you're grilling fish or you're grilling any meat, you basically are trying to, lose any sort of calories or as
Right,
much
yeah.
as you can because the drippings they lose a lot of calorie.
And is it better to marinate this overnight, maybe, or obviously we're doing it for the program
Yeah.
today, sort of in front of viewers?
No, I mean you could basically leave it overnight, but when you talk about fish, you can't. You just generally don't want to leave it in the marinade for too long because you want the fresh flavors of the fish to come out of the marination
Right,
after
yeah.
you're cooking it. So if you're leaving it for too long in the marination, it might just overpower the fish. a
Ah,
little.
I see now.
So
And
we're
that
just
goes
trying
onto
to
a
avoid
skewer
that.
there.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think you might be able to get to wash your hands down now, so
Now you can.
there we go. So you can wash your hands down there for me. That's it. We've got lots of ingredients on the board here now, prepared, ready for finishing the recipe too, haven't
Yes, yes. And I'll ask again you to do the cooking.
we? Oh, so you're going to be in charge of the cooking side of it now, so
I've
it really
given
is.
everything to her to cook.
It
today,
really
so-
is hands-on
it.
today.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
I feel like
it's a
I'm
bit
getting
like
a master class from
musical
a master.
places here, but if you just squeeze past this way here now.
Well, what I've done here is for the sauce, it's just a basic treatment for the sauce. You have some red onions, you have some tomatoes, some green chilies, some coriander, ginger, garlic. This is a combination of spices that we call most favorites for the Bengali sort of spices. Now, it's a combination of, if you could just stand here and just keep sauteing for me.
Yeah.
We've had some dried chilies.
Oh, dried chilies, all the seeds and everything there,
Why
yeah.
are you crushing them?
Yeah.
Why are you
The reason
crushing
I'm
them?
crushing is because to take the flavors out of it,
Okay.
or else you'll just get the smokiness but not the pungency.
That was
and not the heat.
that was the mustard oil, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a mustard oil, yeah. Okay, and we had some cardamom into it,
Yeah.
some carom seeds, which also are quite popularly known as bishop's weed.
Right,
It's
yeah.
digestive, definitely. You allow this to crackle for some time. Then you add your mustard seeds into it, which is very, very
That all
popular
goes
for the
in too.
Bengalis.
Oh, you can
Yes.
really smell the
Yes,
flavour.
Yeah, it's really crackling nicely as well
You have your
there.
mustard seeds here. You have your peppercorn.
Goes too.
Yeah,
There's lots of flavours going into this recipe, Abdul. So
yeah, it is. If your tempering is not the right, you don't get that pungency in the, in the
Right,
sauce.
yeah.
We add some red onion
There we
into
go.
it.
So red onions. I'll get that out of the way there.
You can add
That's
some
it.
red
All of
onions
them?
into it. Yes, please.
It looks like a pretty quick recipe to cook as well, chef. So once
I
it's
mean, when
started,
you're cooking with fresh ingredients, it's always good to have the basic tempering right, and then pretty much just follow the
Yeah.
the sequence.
that's it. Yeah. Right. So what's going on in the pan now, chef? A few more spices going in there.
Yeah, the basic spices, like we've got some turmeric here, we've got some cumin powder, we've got some coriander powder. Yeah. At this stage, we'll add some fresh tomato.
Oh, the tomatoes. Yeah.
Absolutely. So this will allow the moisture to come through.
I was going to say it's
Yeah.
quite dry at the moment, isn't it? But
At
there's
the
all the
moment,
moisture in
yes.
the tomatoes to come out there now.
Yeah.
So if people were cooking that at home, would they just do it under the grill to get the char grilled first?
They could directly put it in the oven.
Yeah.
At this stage, you add a little bit of kasundi mustard, which is
Yeah.
a Bengali mustard, and
There,
you could
around
pass
there.
on some water to me from there.
Yeah, a little drop of water there.
Yeah, maybe with.
We'll use this one
yeah,
here.
a
Put
little
that
bit
into
of
there.
water,
A little
just
bit
to
of
deglaze
water
the
there.
pan.
Yeah. There we go. Right. So what's happening now, Abdul? There.
We are in the process of converting this fish onto the grill or onto the pan.
Right. Yeah.
So at this stage, we will have to leave some moisture.
That's going to off the skewer then.
Yeah.
That's it. As it falls off there, is that saying it's kind of cooked then, really?
Yeah. At some stages, yeah. I mean, but if you already think that the fish is coming out of the skewer, so it's better to just lift it and put it in the
Really,
pan straight
really
away.
full of flavour in there, isn't it? That pan
No,
sizzling away there.
You can really smell it.
Yeah.
It smells
What would you
great.
serve this with, Abdul? Would you serve it with some nice rice, or what would it go with?
Traditionally, it is eaten with rice only.
Yeah.
But because obviously we are trying to add more textures to it, it can be eaten with bread on the side, or just as a side of a grill. You can just use it like that.
Right.
So at
Okay.
this
What we got
stage-
going in next?
We'll add some coconut milk in this.
Real abundance of ingredients going in here, isn't there?
Yeah, because obviously it's definitely taken from the.
And the coconut milk, does that kind of calm it down a little bit with all the mustard and the spices in there?
Yes, absolutely. Coconut is quite mellow, and it lives up to it. I mean, it'll allow it to be mellow, as in the harsh spices of the mustard and the green chilies will be toned down with a little bit of coconut on the side.
But
Really
I love
nice.
the colours, aren't they fantastic? The
It's,
reds and the greens.
really vibrant in colour,
Yeah.
and the mustard's coming through there nicely as well. Oh, we'll get to have a
We'll
little
try the
taste
sauce.
now. Right, here we go. Bit of a preview for when the dish is finished. This is now.
That's really nice.
Yeah, it
Good.
still
Love it.
needs to sit in the heat for some time, so the coconut does the trick. It won't take too long, obviously, because these ingredients are such that it can be it can be used as a stir fry as well, or as a curry, or as a sauce, as a broth. But definitely, you would want the textures to live up to.
Right,
So you
yeah,
don't want
yeah.
to deteriorate it completely. So sauce pretty much done. We'll keep it on the side. We'll wait for the fish to have some sort of a steam.
A little bit longer to wait for that
A
one
little
there
bit
now.
longer to wait for the thing, and it should be ready. By then, what we'll do is we'll do some sort of a sort of stir fry
Right.
of spinach.
Yeah.
So it gets
Oh yeah,
more
you mentioned the
vegetable to
spinach.
plate.
Right, what we've got going on, chef, now with the
Yeah,
pan?
we'll be doing a stir fry of spinach. So we just temper the cumin a little bit
Yeah.
with some garlic, and then we
There's
add
the garlic.
a little bit of ginger in this.
Yeah.
And to add a little more color to it, what we could do is,
Oh, there's you go.
yeah, we could just get
So a little bit red onion just to go through there as well.
just for a little bit more texture
Yeah.
into it.
That's looking good. So in goes the nice spinach leaves.
Some nice fresh spinach
Are
leaves.
these are the kind of spinach leaves that most people normally see. What kind of these ones, Abdul?
I mean, these are broadleaf spinach, so
Broadleaf
these are not
spinach.
they're not very, very different from the baby spinach. You could
Yeah,
use
sure.
the baby spinach as well, but this gives a little more
A bit more texture to it, isn't
texture to the dish. To finish this, we just add a
Little
little bit
bit
of butter into it.
it? Butter in there. A really nice
that's ready
hot
for
recipe
it.
there going on. The sauce is now reducing down nicely there.
Yeah,
And I think when we finish this board, chef, we'll get that out of the way there.
yeah, we can get that out of the way.
Ready
We'll
for
just do
service, because we're just about there now.
The
That's
plating
it.
of the dish.
There we go.
Presentation's what it's all about too, so the master at his work here now. Look
I
at this.
know.
Nicely onto the plate. There we are. So yeah, so you're the one that goes around sort of people's houses and bring these fabulous recipes and say, right, try this. What do you think? Are they like your guinea pigs for new ideas and recipes?
Oh yes, but they don't know it.
They don't realise it.
They don't realise it all.
Until they've eaten it.
Yeah.
Look at that colour.
But I love the fact that they're so honest in their opinion. They're like, yeah.
They tell you how it is.
Actually, that's not right. I'm
They're
not
real.
sure I like that.
Now you've got the pomfret completely cooked. See, we've already steamed it a little bit, so
Yeah, look at
it
the
has
colours
allowed.
there.
Oh, that's really brilliant.
But you noticed the way you didn't kind of get the spinach covered in all the sauce as well. So you've got the nice yellow of the sauce, you've got the green vibrant spinach, then you've got the nice fish on the top there as well.
And then a little bit of master trick towards the end, I would say. I mean, you could let open your creative side.
Look at that. You could do this easy now, couldn't you?
Oh,
You
yeah,
really could.
Definitely.
That's your grilled pomfret with Bengali spices and some wilted spinach on the side, ready for you
Wow.
to try.
Absolutely.
Oh, well done.
Brilliant.
Well done.
Cracking
Thank
little
you.
recipe, lots
Thank
of colour,
you.
lots of flavour. Well done to Rahila for helping us out for this one. All it remains for us to do now is to have a taste.
I know.
Have a taste. OK, so it's time for our haloodies taste test. So, Rahila, are you tempted to taste Abdul's fabulous recipe that's prepared for you today?
Actually, it's all mine, guys.
It's all yours.
Yeah.
Look at that. You're not sharing today, then?
Yeah, definitely.
Right, just run through again, Abdul, what have we got here for Rahila?
For her, I've cooked the grilled pomfret with Bengali spices. What I've done is I've pretty much used the same spices that I've marinated the pomfret in and grilled it on the grill and made a broth out of it. So we added some nice fresh red onions and some mustard seeds and the kasundi mustard, the Bengali input. And then we had some coconut milk to calm down all the other spices, so it's nice and mellow towards the end. With some vegetable stir-fry spinach in it. So you've got Bengali spiced pomfret grilled with some spinach on the side.
That is
do you think?
absolutely gorgeous.
Is that just hitting the spot for you?
It is,
It
and it's
really
really
is.
kind of, you can taste all the different flavours. It's really delicate. Everything's really coming through. There's nothing overpowering
Absolutely.
one ingredient. It's gorgeous.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, there you go. Another fabulous recipe from Abdul, you've seen here, head chef at the Cinnamon Kitchen. Don't forget, you can find Rahila at the Halal Food Festival on the 27th, 28th, 29th of September here at the London Excel. They'll be running the little haloodies section,
Yeah,
won't you? The
helping
haloodies
run that.
zone, helping run that there. So join us again soon for our next episode of Haloodies, and happy cooking.